Hi everyone, I'm back here with a new project I did for the Compendium of Curiosities 2 book of Tim Holtz. And a few days ago, Tim posted a video about showing some very cool techniques and uses for the craft resist paper. And this blog that I'm following for the challenge, they came up with some ideas on how to do that, and I just brought mine. The craft resist paper I don't have. I have, but from a different brand. I just wanted it for this type of challenges. I always try to use as much as I can stuff from Tim Holtz. Now this little project here in particular, I didn't have Tim Holtz butterflies, but I used Martha Stewart's. But I always try to keep everything Tim Holtz as much as I can. Since I didn't have craft resist, I can explain the process anyways, because it was not part of what Tim did, because Tim did just use his paper. I created the paper. So if I knew I was gonna be a little late on the project, I would have probably done the video, because this was quite interesting to do. And this is something that I've done before, so it's not, something that it was not that I didn't know how to do. But then again, like I said, I didn't have the craft resist paper from Tim Holtz, and all I did was emboss, stamp one of those writing stamps from Tim Holtz. I embossed the letters. I don't know let me see if I can do a little close up, then maybe you can kind of see better. But the writing was embossed, and this was done in like cardstock paper, brown cardstock paper. So this effect kind of looked like a stamp, but actually it is embossed. I don't see, you see how it shines a little bit. You see how it shines? That's because it's all embossed. So then usually what happens is that his paper is stamped or print, and then there's embossed all over it. So that's what is make the craft resist, because the embossing part is the resist part. So what I did, I stamp another stamp from Tim Holtz, and I used archival. I used the Ranger archival ink, and this is coffee color. So I try to maintain everything, in the same standard for the background, so it didn't look weird. Because his craft resist basically sometimes is black or grayish color, and then the background color is like this brown kind of thing. So I try to keep it as close as I could as his papers, and you can see it's all Tim Holtz stuff. So this is the other paper from him that you can sand it off, and it gives this effect. Now I created this little envelope, but in the challenge they used the Tim Holtz die that does that little envelope. I just created mine, just went and cut out some of this like dictionary paper, and then I distressed, with my distressed inks, I colored, I inked, I used distress markers to make the visible lines, so it would simulate some sort of like that little mini envelope that he has, but this is like tiny little mini envelope. And then since you were supposed to use like Tim Holtz butterflies, I didn't have them, so I just went out with my Martha Stewart punch and I added some color, some ink in the front and as well in the back, so it didn't look plain white. And I added some fox pearls. The wording here, or the sentiments that it says explore. So I don't know, I thought it was kind of pretty to put something like vintage letters with glitter. I've been using this type of font for my projects lately because I like the way they look. They're kind of vintagey, but at the same time they're blinging. So it's kind of cute. Well, not bling because this is stickles or glitter. So that's it. That's my little project. This is I don't even know. This is a very small little project. This is a 11. Well, no, that's millimeters. Sorry. This is yeah, like a 4. Let me see, because I didn't measure. I just did it by, by choice. I just cut the paper by the size I wanted it, and that was it. Done. Yeah, this is 4.5 by 3 3/4. So that's my little project. I hope you liked it, and I will keeping doing this until I can get myself a stack of Tim Holtz craft receipt paper, because that paper is really, really cool. You can do so many things with it, and but you can create your own, and I might kind of maybe do a video about that. So if you guys like what you see, please rate, comment, and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Goodbye.